Oh, she's beautiful.
Can't see her yet. Yes.
I'll take your hand.
Oh, Dad. Today is a special day for you two. This is a joyful occasion and one for which we are grateful. We are happy we're all here to celebrate your union and witness your vows. We thank God He's brought you two together to be husband and wife and brought us here to always love and support you. As you two grow your married life together, socially, economically, materially, emotionally, and spiritually, remember to rely on each other's gifts and skills. Remember, you're attracted not only to each other's physical beauty, but also to each other's love, courage, kindness, joy, and peace. It's important that you two remain friends throughout your lives. Friendship blossoms into a beautiful forever love story. In friendship, you will have constancy, sensitivity, truth, and love. As a husband or wife, you must honor and build up your spouse. As a spouse, you have the power to grow each other's self confidence. Thoughtful criticism, both positive and negative, and always shared lovingly, will serve you each well as you navigate the many years and experiences you will enjoy together. You must be a shelter for each other. It takes courage to forgive and forget, but as husband and wife, those F words are vitally important for a healthy and loving relationship. Your vows are promises to be loving, faithful, tender, and compassionate throughout your lives, not just until your honeymoon is over. You're not only marrying each other, you are marrying each other's family too. Be considerate of each other's family ties as you create your own family ties. We believe you two were brought together by God, and we have faith that He will bless your marriage and many years of love and happiness. A toast to those who wish you well, and those who don't can go to hell. Nazdar.
Thank you. My turn.
It's your turn.
I have more pages than you. I'm getting worried.
No.
I double spaced it.
Yeah.
All right. So today's December 13th, which happens to be the third Sunday of Advent. And today, Stephen and Marissa, is the day that you have chosen to partake in the sacrament of marriage. So bear with me as I step through the next few items. Since we're in the Advent season, I want to share a quote from Fleming Rutledge's book, Advent, The Once and Future Coming of Christ. Since the Advent season has been so closely linked to Christmas over the years, it may be startling to hear that Advent is not simply a transitional season, but in and of itself communicates a message of immense, even ultimate importance. Of all the seasons of the year, Advent most closely mirrors the daily lives of Christians and of the church, asks the most important ethical questions, presents the most accurate picture of human condition, and above all, orients us to the future of the God who will come again. So why do I think this is worth quoting at a wedding, aside from it being Advent? And I'll provide a couple of reasons. First, I think it clarifies a few misconceptions about Advent, and I want to clarify a few misconceptions about the covenant of marriage. I used the word sacrament early on, and it's not a word typically used in Protestant or evangelical spaces, but other examples of sacraments would be baptism, communion, confirmation, or ordination. So the first misconception I'd like to dispel is that this partnership should be entered into lightly. It should not be. I'm getting a little leaky.
I got it. I understood that.
Marissa, in your email, you used the word sanctity, which is a great descriptor of what you're about to do. You are not simply entering into some form of social contract that goes along the lines of as long as you both shall love. Rather than some type of social contract, I propose you're entering into a sacred covenant between Steve and Marissa and your God for a lifetime. This is a public vow of how the two of you will relate to each other as you form this new family unit. The covenant of marriage, simply church speak for what you're doing, is a binding and heavenly obligations. Proverbs 20:25 reads, "Is a trap for a man to dedicate something rashly and only later consider his vows." In Ecclesiastes 5:4-5, we read, really good.
Yeah.
When you vow a vow to God, do not delay paying it, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay what you vow. It is better that you should not vow than you should vow and not pay. So the words you're about to speak are not just for the pictures and the celebration, though those are important, but these are vows for life. I use the word love. I want to be perfectly clear. The first official advice I give the two of you, is that love is not a feeling, it's a commitment. So C.S. Lewis says it better than me, so I'm going to read a big chunk of a quote from him. Being in love is a good thing, but it is not the best thing. There are many things below it, but there are also things above it. You cannot make it the basis of a whole life. It is a noble feeling, but it is still a feeling. Now, no feeling can be relied on to last in its full intensity or even to last at all. Knowledge can last, principles can last, habits can last, but feelings come and go. And in fact, whatever people say, the state called being in love usually does not last. If the old fairy tale ending, they lived happily ever after, is taken to mean they felt for the next 50 years as exactly they felt the day before they were married, then it says what probably never was, nor would be true, and would be highly undesirable if it were. Who could bear to live in that excitement for even 5 years? What would become of your work, your appetite, your sleep, your friendships? But of course, ceasing to be in love need not mean ceasing to love. Love in the second sense, love is distinct from being in love, is not merely a feeling. It is a deep unity maintained by the will and deliberately strengthened by habit, reinforced by the grace with which both partners ask and receive from God. They can have this love for each other even at those moments when they do not like each other, as you love yourself even when you don't like yourself. They can retain this love even when each would easily, if they allowed themselves, to be in love with someone else. Being in love first moved them to promise fidelity. This quieter love enables them to keep the promise. It is on this love that the engine of marriage is run. Being in love was the explosion that started it. The second reason I chose the quote from Fleming Rutledge is because I really love this suggestion that Advent most closely mirrors the daily lives, asks the most important ethical questions, presents the most accurate picture of the human condition, and above all, orients us to the future. I'm going to wrap this up by focusing on the statement most clearly mirrors the daily lives for the final few minutes. To do this, it's also interesting, another coincidence, other than your wedding occurring on the third Sunday of Advent. One of the Advent readings today from the Revised Common Lectionary is from Isaiah 61. I'll just read verse 10 and 11. I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall exult in my God, for he has clothed me with his garments of salvation. He has covered me with the robe of righteousness. As a bridegroom decks himself out like a priest with a beautiful headdress, and as a bride adorns herself with her jewels. For as the earth brings forth its sprouts, and as a garden causes what is sown in it to sprout up, so the Lord will cause righteousness and praise to sprout up before all the nations. The prophecy of this specific chapter in Isaiah is speaking to the Messiah leading the people into a romance of eternal salvation and using the language of the bridegroom and his bride. The Old Testament prophecy ties closely to a piece of scripture in Ephesians. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing of water with the word, so that he might present the church to himself in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she may be holy and without blemish. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one ever hated his own flesh, but nourished and cherished it, just as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body. Therefore, a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. This mystery is profound, and I'm saying that it refers to Christ and the church. However, let each of you love his wife as himself, and let the wife see that she respects her husband. It's only one more paragraph, little baby. So there's quite a bit of theology to unpack in there, but we don't have time for that. So you'll get a copy of this. You'll surely have many years to walk through it and put it into practice. So my second and final piece of advice is that marriage is work. It's daily work, and it's rewarding work. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace.
Amen.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. On to the hard part.
Hold on.
Marissa, I may not always have a plan, but almost from when I met you, I had always planned on being with you. I've spent a lot of time thinking about the story of us, and we have had many great memories with both family and friends. But right now, what I'm most excited for is what lies ahead, a life with you. For that, and as a foundation for our marriage, I want to promise the following things to you. I promise to always be patient and know that we will get there together. I promise to always encourage you to be your best, knowing that you make me who I am. I promise to always support you in life, knowing that you will always be there for me. And lastly, I promise to love you unconditionally, for the love that you show me is endless. I am excited to be your husband, to have you as my wife, and I am most looking forward to tomorrow. So thank you for saying yes.
Thanks that I have to go last. Steven, remember our first hike in Durango? Wow, we were failing epically as we hiked that mountain. We stopped repeatedly and we never made it to the top. However, what I love about you, Steven, is that you didn't let this moment define us. This one hike was only a stepping stone in our journey. You constantly amaze me with your determination, your drive, and passion for each moment. I'm thankful every single day that you pushed us to be greater than that hike. Steven, I promise to love you every minute of every day. I promise to listen to you, encourage you, and support you. I promise to never go to bed angry or upset. And I promise to always and forever be your best friend, your wife, and your hiking partner for life. Steven, I know that each day will be an adventure. Some adventures will bring a smile to our face, and others will make us feel defeated. However, I know with you by my side, all adventures are possible. And with your hand in mine, we walk the miles, my love, always and forever.
I think you're supposed to kiss him now.
You may kiss the groom.
And now we got the
Bride.
bride.
Oh.
You may kiss the bride. We didn't
Lovely.
rehearse.
We didn't.
Beautiful.
We weren't ready.
Beautiful.
We now pronounce you husband and wife.
Mr. and Mrs.
For the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Boor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna take the papers.
Oh, here,
Alexa,
I got it.
play a music.
I don't know what we're supposed to do. Like, do you want to say goodbye to all these people, or do you want to just hang up on them? Bye.
Bye, fam.
Beautiful, beautiful service.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yay.
Now I get the babies.
And we didn't freeze.
No, we
The sun was
didn't.
actually warm,
Yeah.
but we didn't cry.